Hi, everyone. Welcome. If you're new here, I'm so happy to have you. And if you're my Patreon subscribers, welcome my baby dinosaurs. And so for today's video, we're going to be analyzing Marie's table dream. Thank you for all of you guys who decided to stay. I sincerely apologize. I know I have made you guys wait quite a while. It took a lot longer than anticipated. I wanted to make sure that I had everything on the screen for you guys so that you do not have to worry about what it is that I'm saying, that you can just see it. So this is going to be me analyzing Marie's table dream. And yeah, we're going to jump right into it. We have a lot to get through. I'm going to have you look at what Marie has to say to you guys. This is pre-recorded. She said this in September 1st, 2020. And so I'll be playing that for you guys. If you are watching this on replay, check the description below. I will have the timestamp there for you, okay? So we're not waste your time. All right. So if you're watching this after the live is over and you've seen this video, go to the description, skip ahead using the timestamp to go straight to the read-in. All right. We want to say hi to Marie, but before everyone, let's just give a small little prayer to Marie and her husband, Scott. As they both have COVID, so let's just send them good energy and good light. I call upon my highest up my spirit guide, Arson of Mac, Arson of Gabriel, Arson of Appy, Arson of Uri, Arson of Area, Arson of Daniel, Arson of Metatron, Arson of Dacria, Arson of Joseph Field, and all other Arsons will call upon you today to surrender Marie and her husband Scott love and light and energy so that she can heal from COVID and to be even come back stronger than ever before. Namaste. All right, so we're going to jump into this. We have a lot to get through, okay? So let's say hi to Marie. She'll be talking. So this is something that she's been doing on her channel. So credit to Marie. And it was pre-recorded on Marie's Table channel on September 1st, 2020. So if you guys want to follow Marie's channel in the description, you guys can find it in the below. So keep in mind that this is just for entertainment purposes only. And so let's begin the video. It's only going to be 12 minutes long, and then we'll start the reading.
Hi, friends. Welcome back to our
Let me know if you can hear.
Okay, today I came on. I want to tell you about a dream I had. 1:15 is when I woke up. So it wasn't a long dream. It was disturbing. And I still have the heaviness and the weight of that dream on me. I'm not going to read on it. I'm not going to try to decipher it for anybody. I'm simply going to tell you the dream because that's what I'm moved to do. This is for entertainment purposes only, and it's just my opinion and nothing more. So the dream, I remember it starting off with Nancy walking into a room. There was a round table, maybe 6, 7, 8 people sitting around the round table. And she came in and she sat down in the chair. I cannot say I recognized anybody sitting at the round table because I really didn't. So, you know, except for her. I did see 2 or 3, 2 men and 1 woman wearing a uniform, some sort of military uniform. And the others were in suits. Okay, so she sat down and she said, okay, I know what our original plan was, and we were going to wait on this, and the world would never know. But things have changed, and we can't do that now. And now, at this point, one of the men in the Army or military uniform, which was, by the way, a dark, like navy blue, and he did have, I don't know what, anyway. And he said, are you sure about this? You know the damage this can cause. And she said, yeah, I know the damage it can cause, but we have a choice. We can do it now, or Putin will be running this country. And we all know it. And now we got to make sure everybody else knows it. And then she went into, she became upset when, because she knows, and everybody apparently knows, Russia is helping Trump cheat with the election. And she said, we cannot take this chance. First, it was the post office, and now they're trying to interfere and slow that down. But what really seemed to push her was the intelligence no longer having the meetings with them. And she said, we know the truth. We wanted, rightly so, to let the people make the decision in the elections. But now we know we're not going to be able to see what's coming. We're not going to be able to know what's coming. We've been lied to. We'll be lied to again. And do you want to take that chance? And the one man that had asked her just shook his head. He didn't say anything. And I noticed that people's heads started to hang down. And she said that, listen, this is the only thing we can do. It's the only choice we have left. And the people of this country are going to know that the people they entrusted were willing to sell this country out. At this point, it's happening to me again. I started to become very emotional. Now, when I dream or I'm watching something and not actually physically in the dream, I am consciously aware of everything being said and going on. And I will even tell myself, Marie, you need to remember that. That's important. But I felt myself getting very emotional and starting to cry. And I kept telling myself, just hang in there a few more minutes. This is important. So there was a calendar behind Nancy on a wall at an angle. You could see the whole, it wasn't behind her head. You could see the whole calendar. And the calendar said September 2020. I have no idea, because last night, it wouldn't have been last night. It would have actually been early in the morning, 1:15, because when I woke up, I looked at the clock to see what time it was. So it could have been representing September 1st being the month. And she said that got to clear out the whole bunch of them. And that because of Trump, and I'm telling you what she was saying. I'm not giving you my point of view of it. I'm telling you what she was saying. That because of Trump, Putin is about to take over our country. But they need to get past this election. And that's why everything is happening with this election. And she said, we're not going to risk it. We're not going to do it. We'll come out with the truth of people who we entrusted, that sold our country out, the danger, and everything. She said, we're gonna have to tell everybody the truth, because when you go in and remove him, I'm assuming she's talking about Trump. That's all I'm gonna say. When we go in to remove him, we're gonna have to show people the truth and the evidence. Yes, it would have been nice, she said, it would have been nice if in November they just could have elected Biden, but we can't take that risk now. And she said, so we're a go. We all know what's going to happen. And good luck. And so they all kind of, and every time one of them got up and they touched her on the shoulder, like petted her. And I could see at that point, one of the points, that Nancy too was crying. She just had tears going down her face, which then again made me very emotional. And when the last person went out the door and closed the door, she had gotten out of her chair and had gotten on her knees and started to pray. Now, I can't tell you what she was praying because I knew what she was doing, but I couldn't hear because she was like more or less praying to herself, but there was some mumbling, but I couldn't have told you what it was. She stood up, she looked at the calendar, and she was shaking her head. 2 birds. One flew, landed on one shoulder, and the other one on the other shoulder. And she looked, and she looked, and she said, the people in the country will forever remember the day we came close to being a part of Russia. Let them never forget. I can tell you the one on this shoulder was an owl. I know nothing about birds. I mean, I know the normal things people know. I know what a robin looks like. I know what a blue jay looks like. But it wasn't any of those kind of birds. But this on this shoulder was an owl. On the other one, it was a big bird. It was bigger than the owl. So I remember thinking, God, is that a hawk? Is it an eagle? I don't know what the heck it was. Is it a ray? I don't know. I don't know what it is. But it was a big bird. I know that. It's a phoenix. I don't know what a phoenix looks like either. But it was a big bird. And I don't know what the meaning of that was. So she pushed in her chair and she went out. I was still emotional and crying. I hadn't stopped. Once I started, I hadn't stopped. And as I usually do, I will wake myself up. So I think it was the end of the dream anyway, but I was waking myself up. And I was making noises like I was crying. So I was starting to physically try to cry in my sleep from the dream. I'm not going to try and tell y'all what this dream means because, honest to God, I don't know. I don't know if it's symbolic of something, if it's literal, if it's just my fears coming out, because that's what dreams are, and it could be my subconscious. But for whatever reason, I said, I'll tell them about it. And so that's what I'm doing. I'm not going to read on it. I'm not going to ask any questions. I'm not going to try to figure it out because I didn't feel like that was an issue that needed to happen. It's just that you need to hear the dream. So I told you the dream. I miss y'all. Got a doctor's appointment today. Until the next time, friends. Thanks.
All right, and so basically that is the whole entire video of Marie's table dream. And so I just wanted to show you guys that because I have a tendency to forget. And so I just wanted to give you guys an idea. So at least you got to see Marie. And so I hope you all sent her a lot of love. And like, she looks so beautiful always when she does her thing. So I love her. She has great energy. And so we're going to jump right into the entire reading to get through. Okay, guys? Thank you for staying with me. All right, so we have here, I'm going to go through kind of like the same thing, like give you the background and ask the question. You guys can also follow along with me at the end, and you guys can ask questions as well about the dream that I may have overstepped or may have not noticed. All right, so Nancy walks in a room with a round table. There were 6 to 8 people already sat down. Their identities were unknown. 2 to 3 people were in a military uniform, 1 woman and 2 men. The other 46 people were in suits. So now let's ask the question: who are these people in the uniform? I'm gonna break it down so that we can be able to figure this out. All right, spirits and angels, tell me, who are these people in the uniform? Okay, the first one already popped out. All right, why? Who are these people in the uniform? What do we need to know? Okay, who's this person in the uniform? What do we need to know? All right, we have quite interesting enough. All right, so I just figured this out because we have my cards here, and I was like talking to myself, I'm like, oh, this looks like Trump. This is my Trump card. This is my incumbent. The incumbent being defeated. Then we have Joe Biden and Kamala. I was like, oh, thinking like, oh, it could be Kamala and Joe Biden. Turned out that's not the case here. We have here as well. We have Trump. So this could be like Trump energy, something like Trump energy here. We have, this is Trump being defeated. So basically what it's telling me is that when this thing was supposed to take place, it was supposed to take place after election. So this is happening sometime after the election, even though Marie's table got the dream beforehand. We do have here as well, we do have the Lovers Reverse, which is my Biden and Kamala Harris card. And so what this is telling me that Biden and Kamala had not been elected just yet, even though I just said that it takes place after the election. It makes sense because, Trump kept contesting the election results. Here is all about transfer of power, being able to smoothly transfer the power of the presidency. This is my inauguration card. And so what I'm seeing here is that the people in the uniforms were people who were trying to ensure that there was a smooth transfer of power. And we do have here as well, we do have the Hierophant. But first, I want to tell me here that this is about the corrupt government. They are aware that, a lot of these people that are in there that we don't know about were people who were very corrupt. They were very corrupt and that they were trying to overthrow the government. And this had nothing to do with Nancy. Nancy was just in there talking about it. But these people that were around the room, and at least in the suit and the uniform, were trying to prevent an overthrow. So this looks to me as if it's talking about the coup. Whatever coup it was, it's probably talking about January 6th. That's what I'm getting out of that. We're going to use my United States of Tarot deck and see if it has any more information that we need to know about who these people are in the uniforms. All right, so spirits and angels, tell me, who are these people in the uniforms? What do we need to know? What do we need to know about these spirit and angels? The Marie's table dream. Who are these people in the uniform? Can you give me a little understanding? Okay, so we have that. Yeah, so it looked as if, there was, they were talking about a coup here. They were talking about a coup preventing the destruction of the United States. So a lot of these people were here, but they had to be kept secret. It almost feels like Secret Service, potentially. Those are who these people are. They're very anonymous. You don't know who they are. We have here the cup. They're very progressive. There's people celebrating, very happy. They want to ensure that the election gets handed over smoothly. And here we have Vote for Women. It's the women who drove Biden to victory. And so what it's telling me here is that, the people in the uniform were supposed to get the women out and vote, and they did. And how they did it, I had no idea, but they did it. So that's all that matters, right? All right, so the next question is, who are these people in suits? And I know I kept saying, suits, but I meant uniform. Those are the people that I was talking to about. They were in a uniform. Now let's take a look at who are these people in a suit. Because those are very different. There was about, I think, 4 to 6 people in a suit. So let's find out if we can get an idea who they were and why they were there. All right, spirits and angels, tell me, Who are these people in the suit in Marie's table dream? What do we need to know? Okay, so these cards flip like this. The same card flipped out again. Okay. What else do we need to know? Spirits and angels, tell me about the people in the suits in Marie's table dream. What is this? All right. Why does the card keep coming out? Okay, so we have here, the first thing I got was that this was about the presidency. They were trying to ensure a smooth transfer of power, the challenges to Trump. So these are people probably from Trump's organization, Trump corporate. It feels like these are the type of people that's being surrounded in that table. And it feels like not Marie, but it feels like Nancy may be trying to get them to understand why it's so dangerous for them to allow Trump to be on. So it looks like she's trying to show empathy. We do have here as well, we do have the devil reverse, which tells me that this is about Trump. This is the center. This is all about Trump here. We have here the refusal to concede, the refusal to transfer the power over. And we have here America trying to get out of trouble back into smoother waters. So it feels like these people who are in suits would have meant to be there to help the United States. And so that's what I got from those. So now the next thing that she was doing was the Nancy plan was to wait on something and the world would never know. What plan was this and what were we supposed to know? And I want to take a quick look at that and see if we have any idea or understanding. Okay, so spirits and angels tell me about this. Nancy's plan was to wait on something and the world would never know. What plan was this? What was the plan? And what were we supposed to not know? Okay. It's just done. This card came out for Biden on Inauguration Day when I did that reading yesterday. Okay, so we have all about the transfer of power to voters. It looks like this is the American people, the democracy. It feels like as if it feels as if this plan was to wait on the way the American people voted, and that was the original plan or intent. What we have here, by just holding on to the people that were going to vote, it wouldn't be enough. So they couldn't just walk away and just let Trump have it. They knew what was at stake here. We have here the Knight of Cups reverse, and here is Biden reverse. And it falls underneath the voters, democracy here. We have here judgment, COVID. We have COVID-19. A lot of people were, not afraid to go out and vote, but also a lot of people didn't want to go to the polls. Now, I mean like people physically showing up on election day. So this could be why they extended those days so that people can have their vote counted. And so we do have here as well, we do have Biden and, this card, the betrayal card. And so what that feels as if this card came out before when it's on Inauguration Day. Now, this was my attempted assassination card or something along those lines. That's not what I'm feeling here. I just feel like it was kind of like a way for them to get more Democrats to come out and vote by extending the longevity of how long someone can vote, early voting wise. We have here the New Republicans are going to play dirty. We have here that it wouldn't be a fair fight if just only people came out and voted on the same day. What we also have here is that the results will be unknown for quite a while. And we have here, it will be white supremacists who would have won. It will be Trump. But in this case, because they were able to extend early voting, it feels as if it caused Trump had to have no choice but to leave. And so that's basically what that entire portion of that was, that's what Nancy was referring to. Now, keep in mind, this is just for entertainment purposes only, and that this is just an interpretation of Marie's table dream. Okay, one of the men in the uniform said, quote, "Are you sure about this? You know the damage that this can cause?" And Nancy responds, "Yeah, I know the damage that this can cause. Well, we have a choice. We can do it now or Putin will be running our country. And we all know it. We got to make everyone else know it." And so the question I wanted to ask was, what were the choices? Is this about the second impeachment? Because this could be multiple dreams foreshadowing what we can see now. And, if you guys have any other questions that you want me to talk about right after I finish all my questions, let me know, and we'll look at that and see if, you know, if it relates to the dream or not. Spirits and angels tell me, what are the choices that Nancy was talking about in Marie's table dream? What were these choices, so to speak? Was this referring to the second impeachment of Donald Trump? Was that the only choice that she was talking about? Okay. Interesting. Why does this card keep coming out? Final outcome, Republicans down, they retreat. Okay. So we have here as well, we do have, you know, the choice was they only had one choice, and the choice was to fight and to ensure that democracy can keep going. Here we have the Statue of Liberty, and it was reversed. What is the Queen of Wands? It shows reversed, and what this tells me is that, you know, this was the moment that could have been a turning point for the United States. We have the Death card here, and it's reversed, which tells me that it was supposed to be a transition of power. That's what was supposed to originally happen. However, it didn't quite happen in the way that we were all anticipating. We have here the voters. A lot of the people who voted, their votes were not invalid in any form or way. The people who voted were legitimate. All of them were legitimate. And so what this is telling me here is that the choice was to get a lot of people out, get them fired up, and to get the base strong enough to hand Biden a victory. So that's what it was. It was all about the choice was to get people out to vote, but also feels like this is also talking about impeachment. Because we do have here as well, we do have, you know, United States is now going to calmer waters with Biden as president or at the helm. We have here at the point, we didn't know, this kind of reminds me of December 14th when they certified the votes. And we do have here, we didn't know what was going to happen. We were very worried because he kept contesting the results. And here we have here as well, we do have the Republican down. He's done. This is like Pennsylvania. It's going to be Pennsylvania's election results here. And it's come to the point where Trump will have to concede, and this was the concession that he did after the riots happened. And we have here, unbalanced, there was instability within Biden. And this had nothing to do with Biden's mental health. This is not what it has to do with. But it feels like that there was instability in terms of him coming in and whether or not they can walk through with this. So it feels like they could also be talking about an impeachment that hinders Biden's ability to get a lot of the things that he wants to get done or be able to be shown in the media. However, it can be used to his advantage, so to speak. If he takes this and says, oh, wait, if I can do this, this, and this, then this is what will happen. I'm noticing a lot of the comments are delayed by like 3 minutes. So I apologize. I don't know why that's happening. All right. So it said next. Nancy was upset. Everybody knows Russia is helping Trump cheat with the election. First, it was the post office. And that's what was coming out of Nancy's mouth in Marie's table dream. And so the question I wanted to ask was, what else was it that Trump was doing, Nancy? Because, you know, she just said, if you look here, she said here, everybody knows Russia is helping Trump cheat with the election. First, it was the post office. What's the next one? You know what I mean? She said first. So Trump did a lot of other things that they were aware of that we weren't aware of. So let's take a look at that. So spirits and angels tell me, what else was it that Trump was doing? What did Nancy's mean by what are more things or ways that Trump had cheated that Nancy was referring to in Marie's table dream? What do we need to know about this, spirit and angels? What do we need to know, spirits and angels? Okay, so it looks like if he was trying to overthrow. Yeah, it looks like exactly what that is. Okay. All right, so exactly what I'm seeing here. We have the Hermit. So it was predictable. They knew that Trump was going to do this. We have here the King of Swords, which is the incumbent. This is Trump, right? This is the incumbent. And what it's telling me is that, you know, one of the things that Nancy Pelosi was trying to hide that wasn't like out in the public was that Trump was trying to come in and basically say I'm the winner and then trying to it feels like he's trying to make an executive order. It feels like I'm seeing him come into like, you know, the Senate chambers and saying I'm president, you have to keep me and blah blah blah. It feels like that's what Trump was doing. But we do have here as well, we do have heading to victory. So he's coming in, he's rushing in. We know that he lost because this is my transfer of power and incumbency, right? The incumbents reversed and the transfer of power has been over. And we have here him denying and saying that, no, I'm president, you have to keep me. Here we have, he's almost like disregarding Biden's win and saying that Biden didn't actually win. And we have here the Electoral College. He said the Electoral College is a fool and that it cheated him out of the presidency. And that he wants to disqualify the voters and people who have voted in the 2020 election. So that's what Nancy was referring to in that part of Maurice Table's dream. Okay, so Maurice said the thing that put Nancy over the edge was the intelligence, no longer having meetings with her and the Congress about, quote, foreign interference. At the time when Maurice Table was talking about that, there was, you know, Congress was having foreign interference, talking about Iran, China, and Russia interfering in the 2020 election. And so they stopped that after a little bit, but I wanted to put that in so you guys are aware of what she's referring to. So, all right, so Spears and Answers taught me about this. And he also said, Nancy said, we know the truth. We want it rightly so to allow the people to make the decision in an election. But now we know we are not going to be able to see what's coming or know what's coming. We are being lied to and we will be lied again. All right, so what she also said is people were looking down at the table. This is the only other way we can do it. This is what Nancy said. This is the only other way we can do it. It's the only choice we have left. And the people of the country are going to know that the people that they entrusted were willing to sell out this country. What is the truth and what is it that we need to know? So let's take a look at that. All right, so Spears and Angel, tell me, what is the truth? Why does card keep coming out? All right, so the truth is about Trump. So this is what it's referring to. It's referring about the Trump presidency and that it was not legitimate. That's why they tried impeaching him the first time with Russia. We have here's Biden coming in. So I feel like this is 2016 energy here. The truth is about 2016. That's the truth here, is that Hillary actually won and that Trump never actually won, and that therefore he was not a legitimate president. And we have here, it's predicted that the presidency, which is, you know, the presidency was actually Hillary's. So this is talking about Hillary's now. The truth was that Hillary rightfully won the 2016 election. And the cards even say it here as well. That is the truth that, you know, Nancy Pelosi was talking about. And that is something that we needed to know. And that, you know, it wasn't like, you know, Hillary lost 3 states by a small margin. She pretty won them half the margin of Obama, but she still won them decently, more than what Trump would have won them. And we have here, it was taken away from her. And so, and it was because, you know, of an old leader, it kind of feels like Russia, and here's the Russian card. And so this is Russia. So it tells like Russia is playing a big role here, and that is what Nancy Pelosi is coming out. So that's what the truth is talking about. It's talking about that Trump is not a legitimate president. And I think all of us can agree on that. I've been saying that on my channel, but it feels like that is what Nancy Pelosi was hinting at in terms of the truth. Because when Trump said drain the swamp, what he really means is that drain the people who are going to incriminate me so that I can stay in. I remember, you know, Maxine was saying this. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong. In 2016, one of Trump's aides said on Twitter, right after Trump won, that the way that you can cheat and not get away with it is that if a state is between 3%, you can cheat in the state and not be caught because it does not register in the system. If there's more than 3% of people cheating, you can be caught, which is how Trump was able to flip those 3 states just by cheating. No brainer, right? All right, so let me just get rid of that question. Apologize for that. All right. What was it that they sold out? What was it? Land? Was it government secrets? So let's take a look at that. What did they sell out? Oh, I forgot to show you that part. And we were willing to sell out this country. That was the ending part of that. So that's why I felt like we didn't go over that. What did they sell out? What were these people that the American people trusted, these leaders who they have elected? What did they sell out? Why did they sell out the country? Did they do it by land? Was it like government secrets? What are these people that American people trusted in Marie's Table Dream? What does it mean, spirits and angels? Can you tell me? What did they sell out? Okay, we had that again. The devil keep coming in. It's the sun. Okay, we have the Republican Party again. Final outcome. It's going to be revealed. The information could be revealed. It's going to be tied to the Trump presidency. It's quite interesting to see, to say the least. So what we have here as well, we have the devil. So what did they sell out? They sold out information, and it came from Trump. Trump aided this. Trump sold a lot of this information away. Now, please keep in mind that this is just for entertainment purposes only, but it feels like as if Trump sold a lot of this information out. And because of it, it was a lot about the Supreme Court justice system and how we operate. So a lot of it, like in our department, like how we operate our departments. We have here, when Trump leaves, we'll have this information found out what it is that they sold out to the country and to other people around the world. What we have here is they made some bad deals. They made some deals to ensure that these people won't go away, so that they walk away with things that they wanted, so that they don't walk away from like having things on the outfits and things like that. So we have this is kind of gives me a vibe of Alaska, like there was some land from Alaska, like the national like parks and stuff like that. The states agreed to the extension of the voting time. Get out and drive out turnout. That's what I'm saying. I didn't say the Democrats cheated. I said that by able to have like states agreeing to extend the voting, early voting, they're able to drive out that turnout. Does that make a little more sense? That's what I mean. I'm not saying like the Democrats cheated, just that they were able to drive out more turnout. That's what I mean. Okay, so we also have here as well, we do have, the Nancy Pelosi, the Democrats, the Speaker of the House. So they were selling a lot of information out about the government secrets. We have here the Republican Party. So, what Putin says is that when I buy American, I buy GOP sort of thing. And that's what he does. So, the GOP is actually broke. It feels like one of the things is that the GOP was broke, and that's why they did the thing that they did. Thank you. I'm so glad that it clarifies everything a little bit more, so I'm happy. All right, perfect. And we have here as well, we do have, everything not being sold. Like, it was kept going. It kept coming from the presidency, from Trump presidency, his office. And what we have here, the information won't be revealed. So it does look like a government secret. Some parts of it is land as well. Yes. Jane, that is correct. I completely agree. They did have to extend early voting because of COVID. COVID actually helped them, not gonna lie. I felt like, COVID at one point was meant to be here to help make sure that Biden gets in. Even though I'm not saying like Biden wouldn't have won if there was no COVID, but it's 2-2-2. And so I just feel like more people came out and voted because they're able to just vote from the comfort of their own home, so to speak. So if that makes any sense. Because remember, if people didn't get to see Trump, messing with the mail-in, they may have voted a little bit more Republican than maybe Democrat, because if there was no COVID, people would not be judging Trump on his handling of COVID. No one would be seeing how bad he will handle, trying to mishandle the mail and stuff like that. So there's a lot of things that COVID had done to help highlight how bad of a leader Trump really is. And so I'm not saying I'm not endorsing Trump. I fully endorse Biden, okay? All right, so we have here, Nancy said, when we go into remove him, we have to show people the truth and the evidence. Would have been nice if they elected Biden. That was just part of me. I was like, wait, she said that? And yeah, I had to go back. I had to look back at it. I'm like, I want to make sure it's correct, but no, she did say that. And so, let's take a look at that. Who is going to be removed? Trump, Pence, Barr? Let's take a look. It's 222. All right, Spears and Angels, Tommy. Who is going to be removed? What did this meet in Marie's table dream? Is it Trump that's going to be removed? Okay. Is this Bill Barr that's going to be removed in Marie's table dream? What is this? Okay. What else do we need to know, Spirits and Angels? Is this Bill Barr that in Marie's table? Was this the dream? Was it the thing that was trying to be removed? Okay. All right, so we have these. Okay, then what about Mike Pence? Is this Mike Pence? Are they trying to remove Mike Pence? Okay, what else do we need to know about Mike Pence? Were they trying to remove Mike Pence? Is this what it means in Marie's table dream? Okay, so it looks like... Okay, this is quite interesting. Quite interesting to see how everything is playing out. And so we have here as well, we do have, the moon. We have, this is the Trump, well, we have Trump, we have Barr, and then we have Pence. And so what does this tell me here is that this is, they were trying to remove Trump. They were, because here's the Democrats, is Joe Biden. So they were trying to do it. They were already making a plan on how they would do it. It was happening before the election. It was true. However, they were planning for Nancy to take over. This was what was supposed to happen. Trump was supposed to be removed. For Bill Barr, we have here as well, we have, in the past, he was a good, loyal little doggy for Trump. We have here as well, we do have the Knight of Pentacles. He was able to make sure that the wheels on Trump was moving and moving and moving. And we have here, he ended up realizing that he needed to get out before it's too late. And that's Bill Barr. So it doesn't feel like they were talking about Bill Barr here. It does feel like it's Trump. But also for Mike Pence, we have judgment. Judging him allowing this stuff to happen under Trump. And that, there will be justice. There will be justice. This is the impeachment thing. And then we have here striking. So now, this could mean a few things. It could mean that Pence goes through with the 25th Amendment and remove Trump. And that's what that tower card could mean. Or what that could also mean is that they were also trying to remove Mike Pence as well. Which is why, like a lot of us tower card readers, we didn't really see Pence in a position at the presidency, but we rather saw Nancy Pelosi, which is the next one in line of the succession. So it's kind of interesting to see how that is going to play out. So it says here, what do you mean Biden wasn't picked? Was it that Trump cheated so that they had to do the same? Like, it's a question that I had done before. I was trying to do this as fast as possible, so I'm not accusing the Democrats of cheating, okay? I just want to put that out there now. All right, so Spirit Angel Tommy. What do you mean Biden wasn't picked? Was it that Trump cheated? What do we need to know? What do we need to know about this? Spirit Angel Tommy. What do you mean that Biden wasn't picked? Okay. What do you mean Biden wasn't picked? Does it mean Trump cheated or something? What do we need to know, Spirit Angel Tommy? Okay. 2 cards here. All right. Interesting, different. We have here as well. It feels like these people didn't want to get in trouble. They didn't want to, get in trouble by, allowing themselves to be removed from the White House by force. They didn't want to do that. They didn't want to have to deal with the investigation. What we have here as well, we do have, they don't have strength. They know that they don't have a lot of backing. They don't really have that backing that, most people in office do. They have here the Princess of Wands, which is Kamala Harris. So it's supposed to be Kamala Harris. So Kamala Harris will play a major role in whatever particular way this may unfold. And we do have here, nonetheless, she persisted, and it's the strength card reversed. And this is kind of funny because I talked about the strength card here as well, the Two of Pentacles, but that wasn't really a strength card. But for me, it looked like strength because we do have, Arnold Schwarzenegger here holding the bar, doing like biceps, I think that's it. That's what it is. And so it does talk about that. It does do that. And we do have the King of Pentacles. And what this is telling me that, they're talking about Trump cheating and that, this meant that, they didn't know who was going to be elected. What Trump was trying to do was, and I found this out when I was doing a reading earlier with you guys, is that Trump's original plan was not to get 270. His original plan was to throw it into the House. And by doing that, if he just won Wisconsin, Georgia, and Arizona, it puts 269, 269. And that's why a lot of people in the House won a lot of seats because they actually cheated in those seats. And Trump was trying to make it the House go Republican, no matter if the Senate goes blue. And so he was trying to get in that way. That was one of his plans. He didn't want 270. He wanted 269 so that would go to the House. So it does look like that was one of Trump's plan. That was his original intent. And we do have here as well, he wanted to make sure that it was a smooth transition. And we have here as well, he feels like a fool that he's not going to be able to move on into his second term. We have here, he's not the leader. He's no longer the leader anymore. And that he caused a riot. He caused a ruckus. He caused problems within the United States. And it makes a lot of sense. Now, please keep in mind, Trump was aware of this. He knew what he was doing. He knew what he was doing. So I hope that makes a little bit more sense now in terms of what I'm referring to. What do you guys think about the dream analysis so far? It's the first time I've done a little dream analysis. I hope you guys do like that. All right, then it said here, Nancy was crying. This is what, Marie Table was saying. And it said Nancy was praying to herself. She stood up and looked up at the calendar, which says September 2020. Marie said a bird flew on each shoulder. One bird was an owl, and the other was a big bird like an eagle or a hawk. And so I wanted to take a quick look at that. I was trying to find a meaning for you guys before I do went on, so I had some idea what it was and what it potentially may mean. So, and then Nancy said, people in the country will forever remember the day that we came close to being a part of Russia. Never let them forget. And so I think that was very significant as well. And so what was the actual date on the calendar? And so when I was listening to, Marie's Table, I'm glad you guys like it. And so when I was listening to her and, her telling me about Nancy Pelosi looking at the calendar, the first thing that I got was, oh my God, January 1st. I didn't see September 2020. I saw something with January. And so I was like, January 1st, potentially, like the new year. And so let's take a look at that. Sorry. I think, Maria was right. She said that, January 1st, she said September 1st, 2020. And I felt like that was only because it was supposed to be a veil that she was not supposed to know the specific date. It was supposed to be a protection for Marie as well. So let's take a look at this. All right, so Spirits and Angels tell me, what was the actual date on the calendar in 2021? Okay. Is this Inauguration Day? Is this Inauguration Day, Spirits and Angels? Is this Inauguration Day? Okay, why are you putting two cards like that? Okay, can I have two more cards then if you're gonna... Okay. Interesting. Interesting enough. Let's see. Is there any more cards flipped? Nope. It's interesting how they did kind of like went into either side. And we have here, Bush did cheat, by the way. George Bush from 2000, he did cheat, but that's a whole other story for another time. But we have here the Wheel of Fortune reverse, which is on the left side. And we have here the reason why I said, oh, is this Inauguration Day? It does look like there's something with Inauguration Day, and that makes sense because it was supposed to be protecting Marie's Table as well. Because we have the Ace of Swords reverse. and that there wouldn't be a smooth transfer of power. Like it almost feels like Trump is gonna do something on that day, and it looks like something's gonna happen. Something's gonna happen. Almost feels like a refusal to accept the election, and that Biden is now president. And we do have here, he's not going to pass it on. He's not going to pass it easily. You know, Trump may have conceded, but he's not going to give up. And on this side, we have my, Biden card. And this was Biden, and we have, divine timing. And I thought, oh my God, it might be, inauguration day. And we have here unbalance. Something's going to be unbalanced on this day. Something off. And, this is talking about the family money. And I'm seeing Kennedy here, like, something with Kennedy, something with John F. Kennedy, like his family. What else do we need to know about the spirits and angels? Tell me. Oh, what is that? Why did I do that? Okay. We have, he knows the election's over. He knows it's gone. He knows the election's over. But he's looking. It's almost like a smoky mirror. Like he's sending a signal out to another country. So whatever Trump does, he's trying to do something else. He's trying to send a signal. That's what it is. Trump is trying to send a signal on this particular date. And it looks like, how I said it looks like January 1st? Well, look, it's the 1. And it'd be a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 9, it could be 9 days from now. How many days until the inauguration, right? We have 9 days, is that right? I have no idea. I think it's 8. Could be 8. So it could be something on the 19th. Something could be happening on the 19th. Could be the 20th. Could be 22, whatever that is. The 22nd as well. Let's take a look and see what these cards have to say. What is the actual date on the on the calendar in Marie's table dream mean? What does that mean, spirits and angels? Tell me. What do we need to know? Okay, is there anything else that we need to know about the spirits and angels? Okay, so my guy told me to see all the cards that I need. We have here a lot of people, so this is in the South. I think some of you guys are mentioning in the comments it could be Texas. Could be something with Texas. It could be have here. It's going blue. There's something with blue here. And I just saw a little butterfly. You see that? Look at that blue. And I just saw blue here. People celebrating something. That maybe they're going to be able to go back to work. Whatever that is, there's something here. But here we have is the Princess of Pentacles. But look who's in the picture. You see that? Look how happy he is. Well, it card turned down reverse because he's not going to be a very happy man on whatever day that is. So I want to see if we can get like an idea when this day may happen. Let's see. Spirits and angels, tell me what day it may happen. What date is it referring to? In Marie's table dream when Nancy Pelosi looked at the calendar. The 8th. 8. I did say something with 8. 3. Something with 3. So 8, 3. 8, 9, 10, 11. So 11. Someone said 11. It was 11 and plus 2. What's it? 13. So something could be revealed tomorrow that we're not aware of. So there's a lot of things that it feels like, Marie was seeing and with Nancy Pelosi looking at the calendar. It doesn't look like it's September, and I knew that internally, that it was not September that Marie's table was looking at when she was seeing Nancy look at the big calendar. Yes. You guys are funny. All right, so what do the birds mean? Are they little? Is it symbolic? Is it Marie's table fears? So let's take a look at that. Let's just see what that may mean. I'm going to, mix these cards up. I have no idea. I'm just not even looking. Kind of randomly. I'm going to sub them in, and then we're going to see what it means. So while we're waiting, I'm going to read this to you. So seeing a giant bird in your dream. Seeing an enormous-sized bird in your dream signifies how patient and persistent you are for something you desire, and your calmness, your willingness to continue with your successful work. The dream is a sign of getting a fairly large profit, a wealth of goods, or a great miracle that will make you feel comfortable for the rest of your life. And that's what, Marie's table talked about, looking at a giant bird. So she mentioned eagles, so all right, let me see what an eagle means. And it said, dreaming of eagles generally signify positive times. Birds are considered a positive omen. An eagle can be included in a category. Eagles are unique and they are associated with power in life. If the eagles in your dream appear to be in trouble or with cage, your finances may be at risk. And remember when I said that, I talked about in my channel, the United States is broke. We are broke. And then the last one was, it dreamed about a hawk. Hawks are very common and they can have different meanings. If you've seen a hawk in your dream, it usually means that you have a lot of enemies. It usually means that you have a lot of enemies in your life. Another meaning of the hawk dream is that you should pay more attention to people around you because someone may deceive you. And it makes sense because we talked about, Marie's table dream, and she talked about, we know they lie, they know they're going to lie to us again. We're talking about deception, we're talking about finances. A lot of this makes a lot of sense into this. And someone said something here, eagle, America, owl, wisdom, and great knowledge. Yeah, it makes exactly what that is. A lot of you guys are asking where the questions are coming from. I put them in already pre-handed so that when I go in and I have a set of a guides and I let you guys ask questions right after. So, yeah, anyway. So what do these birds mean? So spirits and angels tell me, are they literal or are they symbolic to Marie's table dream? What do we need to know? What do we need to know, spirits and angels? And when I see, the owl on Marie's table, shoulder, I saw slow, something being slow, which will make a lot of sense as well. Is it literal or is it symbolic? The birds that were on Marie's table's shoulder. What do we need to know? Yeah, 2 cards fly out. And we have here, it's the deception within the Republican Party. That's what it was. That's what she was getting. And we have here, the other one was Biden's upcoming victory. It feels like something big was going to happen. That's why she had that big thing. The big bird was to talk about, the Republican Party being deceptive to to Nancy and to the Democrats and to the United States. Whereas, on the right side, there was an owl and that talked about Biden winning upcoming. You're gonna say who's gonna win? Who's gonna win? When the owl says who, that's what it kind of thing. That's what it's referring to. All right, so then I have a few more questions. I want to jump right into you guys' questions. Okay, guys? I promise. Give me 1 second. I'm almost done. What does Jared Oil Company have to do with this? In terms of his Marie's table dream with the land and stuff like that. So let's take a look. What does Jared Kushner Oil Company have to do with this Marie's table dream? Okay, so it feels like, if anything, it was all about selling land for justice. Okay, so if I give you this, you have to pardon me, or you have to do this and this and that. It feels like this was their way of trying to get out of trouble. And here we have them offering the other person and giving land back. It feels like this is the past when Russia stole Alaska to the United States. It feels like we're doing a reverse here. We're going to reversal and we're giving Alaska back to Russia. And we have here the victory. This is kind of like Jared Kushner, and so to speak. And we have here's the president. So if you want to know, this has to do with the oil company. So it does play a major role in this as well. Okay, so what does selling national parks to private companies have to do with this? And, for some reason, they kept getting Alaska, something with Greenland as well. So let's take a look at that. We only have one more question after this, and then it's all you guys, okay? All right, the spirits and angels tell me, what does selling national parks to private companies have to do with this? Okay, what else do we need to know? Spirits and angels, tell me, what else do we need to know about this? What does selling national parks to private companies have to do with this? What do we need to know? All right. So we have here, it's divine, it's within timing to do so that we were meant to go through this so that, it goes back. It almost feels like, it really feels like it's supposed to be the moment when the United States is able to get a hand and a hold of all the monetary record. The record leading back to the presidency, the office holder, the President Trump. And so it feels like it was supposed to help people, the investigators find that it leads back to the corruptness within the government. So that's why if they were to sold Alaska off, it has to be in record, it has to be in paper. And therefore it helps them find those information as well. And we do have here as well, here's Justice the Judge. So it does look like it is going to play a major role in that national park, selling to private companies for oils and stuff like that. It's going to play a big role in this. All right, then my last question is here. So, guys, I'm just going to type in, put your questions here. And anyone who is typing questions, make sure you ask your question, but make sure it's related to the topic, something along related to Marie's table dream, okay? I'm going to try to kind of keep it along those lines, okay? I think after my message, I will consider questions, okay? So I don't lose anyone. All right, so was Greenland supposed to be Trump's way of getting Russia closer to the U.S.? Was Greenland buying Greenland from the Netherlands? Trump offered to buy Greenland from the Netherlands. Was this a way for him to get Russia closer to the United States? What do we need to know? Divine is something here. It was supposed to be, there was something divine here. There's something here that we don't know about yet. We have here, he was supposed to hand it off to Russia. He wanted to hand it off so that he can kind of pay off his debt. That's what Trump wanted to do. That's why he wanted Greenland. So he can kind of say, well, I don't have that many debt because I gave you Greenland and Alaska, so to speak. And we have here as well, he's not very happy. He's very unhappy with everything. He wasn't able to be victorious with getting Greenland. It was supposed to be something that he wanted. You kind of wanted to settle his debt a little bit, and it makes sense here because you see here as well, we have the justice symbol, and he wanted to settle his debt. Here we have, he's in a lot of debt. He's in a lot of debt. I think he's in like $1 billion or something along those lines. We have here, it's juggling. We don't know what way it's going to go. But whatever way it goes, it looks like Greenland does play a major role in this. And it's in time that we're going to find out. So it looks like that's what's happening. All right, so let's see. Where's my question? All right, so I'm going to start taking your questions now, guys. I'm just going to find my comment. Where's my comment? Oh, this is not good. I lost my comment. All right, I got to slowly scroll up because I don't want to miss anyone, but I have a feeling I will. Oh, Wendy, this is not a personal reading. All right, sorry about that, guys. All right, so what changed with Lindsey Graham again? Let's take a look at that. Oops. Sorry, guys. All right, so what changed with Lindsey Graham? So, guys, I'm only going to be doing political readings for the next 20 minutes, so then we're done. So make sure it's related to the reading that I just did, please. Make sure it's related to Marie's table dream. All right, so what changed with Lindsey Graham, Spirit? I know. All right, so the first thing I got was in my head from my guys and everything. The first thing they told me was that they found out that Lindsey Graham didn't win his election. He didn't win, and that he knows they're going to find out eventually. And so he's almost like saying this almost feels like it's an FU to Trump. Like it feels like that's what he's doing. If he was to do it, it feels like he would say FU to Trump. That's what it is. We have here him working. He's working on something. We have here him going to victory, stuff like that. He thought he was going to win, but he ended up losing, and he didn't actually rightfully win, and so he cheated. And so it does look like, Lindsey Graham changed because Trump is no longer able to blackmail him. That's put. All right, so let's look at this. We'll also be doing a little update on the impeachment. We'll do an update on impeachment as well. So someone asked something about the impeachment, please. How serious is Donald Trump's health, and how long longer did he have? Okay, so I'm just gonna tell you what I've always seen him. All my ratings is 232, by the way, so electoral college number for Trump. What I've always seen is that he does not run for re-election in 2024. I had never seen it. You can even check out my other videos. I say the same exact thing there as well. I don't really see him living anytime. I do see him in the primaries, but I don't see him living that long. Probably 4 years, give or take. But I don't want to, comic destiny here, so entertainment purposes only. All right. Is Trump more or less being held by the FBI so they can control whatever he can do now? How are they taking away his phone? All right, so Spirits and Angels tell me about this. No, I feel like he still has access. No, it looks like he has access. Like, yeah, it looks like he's right in, he's fine. He can do whatever he wants. I got like he's back on Twitter or he's like on some sort of social media that we're not aware of. He's on something. So I do see he's 8 years on something. So let's take a look at that as well. So I'll see the next question. Was Marie and Scott started to get COVID? I don't know when they did. I can't recall. I'm sorry. If someone could tell them, tell Linda. All right, is there more that Trump gave to Russia that will come out? Let's see. So Spirits and Angels tell me, is there more that Trump gave to Russia that will come out? So we have here, yes, it's the end of a Trump era. Oh, it's the end of a Trump era, and more information will come out, and it will be judgment. So there will be more information coming out about Russia and Trump's involvement in that. Yeah, Trump is really delusional. I'll tell you that. Really delusional. All right, what do you see about Jim Jordan's future? Well, I can tell you one thing for sure. I see him as a Slim Jim, if you know what I mean. All right, so Spirits and Angels tell me he's dry, he's not funny. I don't really see him winning again. We have here the challenge is the Trump base. Is it strong enough when he runs for the election? What do we need to know about Jim Jordan's future? What do we need to know, Spirits and Angels? Tell me. All right, so this looks like we're getting an early look at 2022 or something like that, the midterm year. We have Biden coming in. He's gonna be very well on the popular vote. He's gonna probably be one of the most popular presidents the country has ever seen. We have here, it looks like they're gonna hand Biden the victory, some sort of victory. We have the Empress reverse, Nancy Pelosi steps down. So this is like the overall behind the scene type thing, what's going on. We have here the Page of Pentacles. Jim Jordan's going to try, but he's going to be primaried. He's going to end up losing that Republican primary. He's going to be very upset. And he's going to run as an independent, and he's going to cause a Democrat to win his seat. So it looks like that's how that's going to happen with Jim Jordan. All right, so let's take another look at another question. All right, what did the fly on Penn's head twice now? Well, you know what they say, they are attracted to SHIT, right? So if you got that, it must smell really bad, especially if you don't shower. It makes sense that Trump took all the money from the White House. Or redirected all the water to Russia, maybe. That's probably why he smells. What's a Slim Jim? No, Slim Jim is just like one of those little snacks. You go to Home Depot and they have like that little food cart for you guys can take the snack and just buy it. It's a Slim Jim. It's like sausages packed together and it's filled with sodium and salt. It's a great way to clog arteries. But that's what it is. All right, so what does the fly on Penn's head mean? Mike Pence. Vice President Mike Pence's head. It means that he loses. Basically, what it means is that kind of like what it's showing cards here is that it's supposed to show that they lost. It was kind of like a symbol by the universe that they won't succeed. They won't win. So that's what the cards are saying. Bye, Sandra. Thank you for being with me. Hope you guys like it. Guys, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon. Let me know if you guys like this video and comment it after the video is over and if you guys like this. All right, I'll be doing as many questions as possible until The 20 minutes is up. All right, will Trump connection to Russia actually be disclosed to the public? I've seen that in a lot of other readings that I did. Yes. Long story short. Oh, Trump wanted to sell off Puerto Rico? Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. All right, so is there inside corruption with the military? Let's take a look at that. And you were, Florida, you were saying, where was Nancy when they came looking for her? I have no idea. I have no idea. All right, so let's take a look at this. All right, so spirits and angels tell me, is there going to be, is there corruption inside the military? Let's see. Let's look. All right, so my guys were telling me I need to use these cards. Spirits and angels tell me, is there corruption inside the military? I'm getting no, not really, actually. Funny enough, no. We have here not really necessarily the military. It could be the Pentagon, but not the military. The military has to make quick decisions. We have here they're not really all about, caging people up, being prisoner of war. We have here they're really here to serve and help the world and make sure it's peaceful at all times. And we do have here, no, they're not. The main goal is not to blow up the world or nuclear war. So it does feel like to me as if what I'm getting here is that no, the military is not corrupt, particularly in that particular department that you're asking about. All right, let's look at another question. You guys are talking so much that I'm missing a lot of questions. Will we impeach Trump? Oh, good question. Good question. Yesterday I read on it and I got that 40 House of Representatives were voting in favor of impeaching Trump, which would be quite enough for the Democrats to pass the bill in the House. So let's take a look at the Senate, because that's important. Bye, everyone who's leaving. Thank you for being with me. All right, so spirits and angels tell me, will they impeach Trump? We have here, this is my transfer of power card. So the first word is impeach. It starts with an I, it's deny. So spirits and angels tell me about this. Yes, it looks like we will impeach him. I said that yesterday to see him being impeached. Being acquitted is a whole nother thing. We have here, he had enough votes from the Republican Party to vote in favor of impeaching Trump in the House. We have here that he's going to be hanged upside down, and the people are very happy. And so let's take another look and ask, will they be acquitted? Will he be acquitted for the second time? So let's take a look at that. Because in order for them to impeach Trump, they need at least 67 senators total to impeach Trump. The question is, will they get 67 senators to impeach him? That's the only question. Spirits and angels tell me, will they be able to get 67 senators or 2/3 of the Senate to impeach Donald Trump? Will it happen the second time? Will it happen? Oh, okay. We have here's a lot different than what I got yesterday. So guys, it's great news. It's great news. Ah! Okay, sorry. All right, sorry. We have trouble moving into smoother, calmer waters. We have here, he's going to be pretty upset. It looks like more people changed their minds last minute. And we have here, yes, they will be victorious. So Trump will not be acquitted anymore. Yesterday, there was a high probability of him being acquitted. Now, when I just read on the likely outcome. So right now, the chances of Trump being impeached is almost practically 95%. Yesterday, it was 95% he'll be acquitted. And so that's how I read. I don't give you prediction. I don't do predictions on the channel. I just tell you the likeliest outcome and what my cards are telling me. And so this is amazing, guys. Ah! Okay, anyway, I gotta keep going because got a lot of questions to get through. We only have like 4 minutes. All right, there's no way I'm gonna get through all your questions. Let's see. Let's see. If I'm skip your question, do not be offended, okay, guys? All right, let me do. Someone did something about, the Christian Orthodoxy and them trying to poison people into believing that Trump is the Lord's Savior or something like that. Okay, there it is. Spiritual seeker. There you go. Okay. All right. So spiritual angel, tell me about this. Chris, I would like to know how we can combat the Christian ideology that Trump is the chosen one. Because, my parents and everyone, they all believe that Trump is the chosen one, and I don't understand why. He is the complete antichrist. And so I want to take a look at this. All right, so spirits and angels, tell me, why do people around the world believe that Trump is the chosen one by God? Why do they believe this? Why do they believe that Trump is the chosen one in terms of Christian ideology, and why are these preachers preaching that? Why are they preaching that? All right, so the first thing I got from my guide was that they made a deal with the devil. That's the first thing I got, was they made a deal with the devil when I saw this card. They made a deal with the devil. These people, these preachers that were preaching that Trump is that. We have here as well, we do have judgment. But Judgment Day is coming. Judgment Day is indeed coming. And these people who are preaching that are not very good people, and that they're going to end up going down. What their goal is to incite confusion among a lot of these people, a lot of confusion. And we have here confusion among the Republican Party, and it's going to be the thing that brings the Republican Party down, is the Christian ideology that Trump is the chosen one. And Trump is by far from that. So that's what I'm seeing for that question as well. I'm going to do one more question, and then that will be the last question that we have. Okay, so if we have so much debt, why are we broke? Okay, so let me tell you something. The way Trump does a lot of the things is that he money launders. And basically money launders is that he steals money from other people. He steals their money. And so, I've been talking about this a lot on my channel, and, a lot of you guys who have checked out my 100 subscriber video with Lisa Simpson being the next president, so to speak, with the Simpsons. And I talked about, I found that when the national debt hit $28 trillion, a woman takes over, someone else takes over the presidency from Trump. And it's not Biden, because Biden comes in the 20th. So someone does come in. I don't know what the national debt currently stands right now. But what I can tell you, when I did that, it was 27 trillion, 26 trillion when I last looked at that. Then it went up 27. But the reason why we're in debt is because of that. Trump stole a lot of our money, and that, at Lisa Simpson, I did that in a video as well, is she said that, oh my God, we're broke. Trump, we have quite a crudgy bunch. And that basically talks about like the country's broke. So yes, the country is indeed broke. We are in debt by almost $28 trillion. And the U.S. profit in terms of GDP, which is gross domestic product income, is only $22 trillion. So if you're in debt by $6 trillion, you're pretty in debt by a lot. And how can you make that up? Well, you can only make that up within, if everyone was able to slash spending within the next 10 years, you'll be able to pay that off. But we're not. And the debt is going to keep going up. So yes, we have so much debt. Trump has a lot of debt. You can definitely look at that. It's for his tax returns that came out and was released, I think, in October. So definitely check that out. He's in debt by $1 billion. So there's that. All right. So let's do one more question for you guys. Okay. When will some of the Trump supporters see the light? Let's take a look at that. All right, when will some Trump supporters see the light? Let me tell you, honey, they didn't see the light with Trump being the Lord and Savior. I don't think they're going to see any form of light. Let me just tell you that right now. But let's take a look. All right, Spirits and Angels, Tommy, when will they start to see that Biden is not the Antichrist and Biden is a good man with very compassionate heart compared to Trump? Are they always going to remain, or the Trump supporters always going to remain by Trump's side? What do we need to know about this? It's still 27 trillion. Thank you, Arlene. What do we need to know? Okay, so we have here, no, they won't. They won't go into the light now. Because we have here, they they had a chance. They were going into, like, these people are very spiritual. They're very vulnerable, and because they're very vulnerable, they're very easy to manipulate, so to speak. And we have here, they went into QAnon as a QAnon conspiracy theme, and they're always going to be very aggressive. These people are very radicalized. You want to stay away from a lot of these people. If you remember them, you think they changed, they have not changed, is my warning to you. They are part of QAnon. They will remain as people of QAnon. Remember that, okay? They will not change. That is something that's been ingrained in them. It's something that they have been programmed to believe. So let's remember that, okay, guys, as well. And so I think we should leave that off here as well. Just leave this off. I don't want to do too long for you guys, so I am going to end it. But I love you guys. Thank you so much for coming on and being with me today. I really appreciate it. Don't forget to check out my Facebook group in the link below. It's a great way to know when I go live, the notification. You guys get to be able to talk to other people who have the same mindset and same understanding with you as well. So definitely check out my Facebook group. Definitely join. It's free. I don't charge anything. I also do free personal readings there for you guys as well. So definitely recommend you check that out. I love you and have a very wonderful night. And don't forget to send Marie's table a lot of light and love. I really appreciate you, Marie, for giving me the ability to be able to do this video. So thank you. Thank you all, okay? Bye, guys.